Hi, and welcome to the Sioux City Journal's preview of the 2022 election. I'm Nick Hittrick, and with me today is PJ Jennings, a Democrat incumbent for Woodbury County Attorney, seeking his fifth term in office. And happy to have him here. How are you doing today?
Doing wonderful. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, great. Well, you've been in office for a number of years. Hard to believe that somebody out there might not be very familiar with you, but for anybody who may not know you very well, just start off with sharing a little bit about yourself for those voters who may not know very much about you.
Sure. Like you said, I've been in office for 16 years. First appointed in 2006, I believe, and then I won the election later on that year. I arrived in Siouxland in 1987. Went to undergrad at Wayne State College, so that's where I came from. Been married for 33 years now. We have three wonderful grown kids, with one grandchild and one on the way. Probably my first professional occupation was with Mid-American Energy Company, IPS back in the day, IPS Gas, Midwest Gas. And then I went to law school at University of South Dakota, graduating in 1999, and have been with the county attorney's office ever since.
All right. And you mentioned you've been with the county attorney's office since you said 1999.
Well, 2000, I started with the county attorney's office, graduated in 1999
All
from
right.
law school.
And been in office for a number of years. What made you decide that you wanted to have 4 more years on the job?
Well, for one, I like the job. I went to law school for this purpose, to prosecute, be in the courtroom. I got that motivation way back when from a great local attorney. I call him great. He was a mentor of mine. At least I consider him one, Paul Yaniff. Many folks may know him in the legal profession. He was a wonderful guy and an absolutely wonderful attorney. He gave me the motivation that I could go and become an attorney. And so that's where it began, when Mid-American was going through mergers and they wanted to ship my position to Des Moines. I did not want to go, so I stayed, took severance pay, and went to law school.
Okay. And obviously with a job like yours, there's a lot going on, a lot of different issues, but I'm going to ask you to limit yourself to one here. What issue is your top priority as you seek re-election?
Continue to keep the community safe. Now that means a lot of things, and I know you shortened it up for me in that one bullet point, but keeping the community safe. And hopefully, as we go down this road, I'll be able to branch off and tell you exactly what I mean by that.
Okay. Can you share a couple ways that you would keep the community safe?
Yes. Everybody knows our top priority is prosecuting those that commit crimes. We do that. We've been successful with doing that. We work with many community partners to make that happen. So it's not just us. It's everybody, law enforcement, the counselors out there, the substance abuse treatment centers out there, everybody pulling together to make this community safe. But one of the things we haven't talked about so much is on the juvenile side and what we're doing at the juvenile level with keeping families together and helping them to maintain that cohesion. There's a lot that goes on down there, and there's a lot that takes place within that juvenile division. One of the great accomplishments that we achieved was addressing disproportionality within the juvenile detention center. Data told us that low-income and minority kids were being detained at a disproportionate rate. So we went to work, the community went to work, and there was a group of us that collaborated, and we amended the risk assessment. We took out some of the subjectivity within that risk assessment, and law enforcement was on board with that. And with that, we found out that it wasn't that the kids needed to go into detention. It was just that we couldn't locate a family member, a responsible family member, to come and pick those kids up after they were receiving a citation, were brought down. So what we did was we worked with the Juvenile Detention Center. they were going to do the reach out, find those family members, because a lot of those folks were working that graveyard shift. Unlike some of the other kids that family are at home, 2-parent families, if they're working that graveyard shift and can't receive that phone call, then those kids were actually placed into juvenile detention for the same reasons that the other kids were being able to go home. So we worked on that, and that was a collaborative effort, and we're really proud that we achieved that. But again, that was a community effort helping to, again, to keep this community safe. And we've been working in that area ever since.
Okay. And then finally, your opponent is no stranger to you, someone that you've worked with for a number of years in your office. What sets you apart from him?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is how we're alike. I don't like talking so much about differences, because to me, differences negate or actually indicate some negativity. So we're a lot, because both of us want to see this community remain to be safe. We do. There's no doubt about that. We work closely together over the years. Actually, I was the county attorney at the time that promoted him to the felony division, because I liked what he brought to the office. Beyond that, the obvious thing is I've done this job for 16 years and been successful at doing this job. So there's no doubt about whether or not I'm going to continue to be successful. I believe my track record has proven that I will continue to be successful in this position. And if I had to point to one thing, that is that one thing that I believe sets me apart from James.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks, PJ, for taking the time out to speak to me. That wraps up this preview, and you can find more videos and stories previewing the election races in the Journal's print version and online at SiouxCityJournal.com.